Drake just dropped Scary Hours 3 today, so obviously we gotta talk about this because this came as a surprise after we got the trailer yesterday. I immediately made a video on it yesterday, but now we gotta talk about what we actually got from these 6 new tracks. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it details everything that's been happening in hip hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So we got Scary Hours 3 and we got it with a new cover other than the one we talked about yesterday, but I like it. It's these 2 fairies. Now enlighten me on who that is. I have no idea, so tell me who those 2 fairies are. But we got 6 new tracks. Those are in order: Red Button, then Stories About My Brother, then we have The Shoe Fits, Wickman, Evil Ways, and You Broke My Heart. And the special thing about this is also that it's not a standalone EP, but it's rather part of an extended edition of For All the Dogs. It's called the For All the Dogs Scary Hours edition. So kind of a deluxe, kind of what Uzi did with Eternal Atake and Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2. So I'm guessing he's following those footsteps, which is interesting to consider, considering that the 2 previous Scary Hours were the EPs that dropped before the big album, and now we have the 3rd Scary Hours dropping as a deluxe to the latest big album. So I don't know what that could tell us, but it's just the facts. So let's talk about the songs. I'm not going to go into detail on everything, but let's start with Red Button, and it immediately starts up as a great intro with bars on there. It has these nice vocal chops in the background that I really like, and obviously has a line about Taylor Swift on there being the only person that could make him delay his album, which is kind of funny. Maybe we can now look back on their history of dropping and see something in the new light. But obviously he also had the Kanye line on there that you might have seen already. Every time that Yeezy called a truce, he had my head inflated, thinking we gonna finally piece it up and get to levitating, realized that everything premeditated. So clearly also referencing that, you know, maybe you remember that charity concert for Larry Hoover that they did like 2 years ago. I think that was after we had Donda and we had CLB, and there was like a whole big discussion about them squashing their beef. So maybe it's about that. It's just something that I think at this point there's no really getting back together of the 2, but I think that was kind of clear. Now on songs like The Shoe Fits, he's reflecting on his career and, you know, thinking about how he's gotten from where he started to here, how he's changed over the years, how he can't rap like he used to. And I think songs like that, it's really just all in all a great reflection of his own career. And here we can see a theme of this entire tape already. He's way more reflective, and maybe this is also part because he's now considering taking a break of, we had it in the trailer, 6 months to 2 years, something like that. Obviously he is taking a break due to some health issues, so kind of seems like this is like his last message that is a little bit more introspective, more so than For All the Dogs, which I really like, before he's taken a break from the music. Let's talk about a couple more songs though. Evil Ways with J. Cole obviously is a highlight on here, as it is the only song with a feature and a J. Cole feature, which makes sense so that they have more material to perform when they go on their Big As The What tour that is starting up in January. And I talked about that. I called it that he was going to have a J. Cole feature on there. It would only make sense. He does now, so no surprise there. But on there, let me say 2 things. One line, Lincoln like we freed the slaves. Damn. And also, like an Indian marriage, it can be arranged. That's some bars. Goddamn. Now the last song, You Broke My Heart, is likely the most similar song to For All the Dogs that we're getting on this tape. So I gotta say it's my least favorite on here. I don't know if that has any connection with it being the most similar to For All the Dogs, but it probably does. I mean, all in all, you gotta consider that he said he wrote this EP in 5 days. He didn't have a single bar written down for this the night that For All the Dogs dropped, and 5 days later this was finished. So that you got to see that we got a lot of bars on this. This thing probably had the most bar-centered, bar-complex, songs, more so than we got on For All the Dogs. I don't want to do that album injustice. It had some great songs with great bars and him just, rapping like he was dependent on it. But this time with this EP, he was really going on very minimal beats, just letting the words speak for themselves, and I like that. I think that was a great addition to For All the Dogs now. And these minimalistic beats really make a difference, because you gotta consider that, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not a lot of 808s, low ends bass, except for maybe on Evil Ways and on the last track, You Broke My Heart. The first 4 tracks are mainly just the instrumental with some vocal chops, with a little bit of leads here and there, but mainly it's him rapping and him really taking us through some stories, like on The Shoe Fits or Stories About My Brother. And that is a version of Drake that I think he tried to do on For All the Dogs. He really tried, but it never really worked the way that we wanted it to work. So him doing it on here, I think, is amazing. So all in all, I'm really happy with what we got. Maybe people were expecting to get some hits or whatever, because on the last 2 Scary Hours, we got God's Plan, we got Wants and Needs, I think the second one was. So it was always like these bigger tracks with bigger artists. On the second one we had, I think, Rick Ross, and then also on Lemon Pepper Freestyle and Lil Baby on Wants and Needs. So it was kind of like always we had a hit on there. But I think if you're looking for the hits, you can go to For All the Dogs, First Person Shooter, I Don't Give a Fuck with Yeet, Slime You Out, even like the one with Sexy Red. So those songs are on For All the Dogs, and maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't like it that much. But this time around, we wanted the old Drake, and he said that For All the Dogs was going to be the old Drake, but this is more the old Drake than that last one. But it's an old Drake with a new touch. Like, it's really unique in that way. And I think him dropping this before taking a break leaves a way better, note, or like a way better feeling with the fans that he's now taking a break with great material, that he left right before taking a break. Now, obviously, this is also to even more, boost up the sales of the tour with J. Cole that he's about to do. But hey, you gotta also see it for what it is. If he would have just went on this tour and then left taking a break with For All the Dogs, I would have just been left feeling a little bit empty when it comes to Drake. Obviously, it's not like that important, but still, as a Drake fan, you kind of want him to leave with some great material. And I think this is exactly what he did with that. Maybe it was because For All the Dogs wasn't received that well. We can only speculate about that. But all in all, this was a great project. I'm really happy that it dropped, and I'm going to spin this back a couple more times. Let me know what y'all think about this, though. Are y'all happy with Scary Hours 3? Do y'all think it's weird that it's a part of a deluxe on For All the Dogs, or how the nature of this thing is? Let me know all your thoughts and your review on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.